cocktail movement here in DC and across the nation as well that is going back towards the classic ingredients. Most of the cocktails originally were like Manhattans were originally made with rye. During the Prohibition era, bourbon became easier to get, so most of the cocktails then switched to using bourbon, such as Manhattan and Old Fashioned, things of that nature. Now the mixologists are going back to using the rye whiskey. But like I said, the bourbon, the Pappy Van Winkle, is one of the most well-renowned bourbon names. It's actually allocated. It's only released once, maybe twice a year. Usually it's in October and November. It's not really up to us. It's really up to them when they decide to release it. You're only allowed to purchase a certain amount of bottles, and the reason that they're very difficult to come by is bourbon geeks will find out when it's going to be released and hit up their liquor stores and their distributors and buy up everything as soon as it's released. It's one of the reasons it's really hard to find. Also, the taste is phenomenal. The 20 year is one of my favorites that we carry, and we carry over 150 bourbons. Very easy to drink. It has a nice caramel maple finish to it. And it's just very elegant, very easy to drink. But a little bit about the distillery. It's actually, this gentleman here is the original distiller. This is Julian Van Winkle. He started in the business, I believe, in 1898. It's bourbon's kind of a family business. Usually it's passed on from generation to generation. Most of the master distillers are essentially the guys who are essentially in charge, have been doing it for over 20, 30 years. But yes, he was the original guy. He started out as a salesman for the W.L. Weller's company in 1898. He and another salesman purchased the company, began bottling mostly Old Rip Van Winkle, which is the thing is, they actually are bottled at the Buffalo Trace Distillery now. And with a joint venture between the Sazerac Company, here, and then we got some snifters here to drink. But again, it's just one of those things. What I'm sure why you're doing a report on it is because it is so difficult to find, and it is in such high demand. But here, I'm gonna give it a taste of the 20 here. I actually prefer the 20 over the 23. That's just a personal preference of mine. These glasses are kind of built to taste whiskey. Cone shape at the top allows the aroma to filter out. But since you guys are here, why don't you give it a taste?
What's the proper technique? Is it almost like a snifter or like a brandy or something where you...
Essentially, yeah. You want to give it a little smell, let it sit at the front of your mouth, swish it around to all your taste buds. My favorite part is the finish. Whiskey is not for everybody, but once you get used to it, you can pick up the subtle nuances and flavor profiles of things of that nature. But give it a taste and see what you guys think. It just brings a smile to my face.
An indicator for me is always, does it give me one of those recoils where you're like,
yeah, it's not
very smooth.
Yeah, well, no, exactly. With some whiskeys, when you see someone drink it, you get that recoil in someone's face. But this is something that you can, sip very easily and enjoy.
It'd be blasphemy to put an ice cube in there, wouldn't it?
I would say so. Yes. We try and steer people away from that, especially just because it is in such high demand that I heard a person say that I want to have it the way God intended, straight. But so yeah, it's just a very good whiskey. It's in very good high demand. Like I said again, it's allocated. We purchase as much as they'll let us humanly buy. We will not go all year with having it in stock, just because it so popular that people come in and order it constantly. And we're one of the there are other places in the city that do carry it, but because we do a lot of business with the distillers themselves, we kind of get first dibs on it, and they let us buy a decent amount, but again, it won't last.